This is Wardell Richardson, and we back on WCEGwood, the Hollywood of the South. We took a little break. We had the lovely Keisha Rivers in here. If you missed her interview, please go back and watch this. She has some amazing things coming up. Her stage play, which is going to be a hit stage play, Mama, They Didn't Mean It. I'm looking forward to seeing it. February, I think she said February the 22nd, 29th. Thank you, Penny. Yep, February the 29th, she'll be doing her play. And it's based off her book, which is called Mama, They Didn't Mean It. So make sure you go and check that out. She said that you can get it on Eventbrite. She said if you put in Mama Day, it'll pop right up and you can order your tickets. Other than that, once again, on April 19th, 2020, ITEE's Annual Youth Excellence Award at the Porter Sanford Performing Arts Center, 3181 Rainbow Drive, Decatur, Georgia, 30034. Red carpet starts at 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., and I will be hosting the event. So if you know any kids that are talented, whether in sports, play an instrument, sing, dance, whatever their talent is, make sure you email me at mrwardellrichardson@gmail.com or hit me in my inbox under my name, Wardell Richardson, on Instagram or Facebook. And make sure you give me the kid's name, a contact number to reach the parent, and what they do. And if you have a little video or something of what they do, I'd like to have that too, and a link to their social media so I can see whatever they have on their social media. It's a very great award show. I did it last year. It was an incredible turnout. I had a lot of fun, and you would enjoy it. The kids have first class attention, platinum. It's platinum level all the way. They get driven there in a limo, red carpet, cameras everywhere, and they get nice awards. They get to tell what they do and how they do it and how they got started. So it's a great thing for kids. It gives them that they need to keep it going, and I just enjoy it. Several of the kids said that that was the greatest day of their life, and it gets no better than that because that's what I want to hear from the kids. Now, I am going to touch on a subject that has been going around a lot lately because they even have an alert out that human trafficking is at an all-time high right now. And the reason I want to touch on is because I've heard so many people, I have so many friends, so many people that I know that have been experienced it with their children or experienced it themselves. They've been followed, they've been cornered, and some of them was able to get away, some of them weren't. With that being said, I really want to highlight, what's going on out there, what to be aware of, and what's going on. So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about what is human trafficking. Human trafficking is modern day slavery and involves the use of force, fraud, or coercion to obtain some type of labor or commercial act. Human trafficking includes transportation, transfer, harboring, or I can't even read my own writing. Or receipt of persons by means of threat or use of force or other forms of coercion, of abduction, of fraud, of deception, of abuse of power, or of position of vulnerability, or of the giving or receiving of payments or benefits to achieve the consent of a person having control over another person for the purpose of exploitation. That's a lot. So basically, they're saying anything involved in slavery, because what usually happens in these situations when they take someone, they immediately eject them with some type of drug to get them where they real loopy and they can't really fight back. They just lose their strength, all sense of awareness, and they take them away. And there's so much going on right now in involving human trafficking, because I just want people to understand it's not just about sex. They are harvesting organs now, and once they started harvesting organs, it became a whole different level. In doing my research today, I found out that the harvesting of body parts is a $5 billion industry. Like, literally, they're making billions of dollars harvesting organs from black people. And I want to get deeper into that here in just a second. Human trafficking wasn't illegal until 2000, when they passed the Trafficking Victim Protection Act, and it became a federal crime. So I need people to understand that, first of all. Human trafficking was not illegal until the year of 2000. That's when they passed the act. And right now it's just 2019. It's about to be 2020. That was just 19 years ago, almost 20 years ago, that bill was passed. So I need people to understand that all that time before that, because human trafficking been going on for years, way before that, but it was never illegal. It was never illegal, but now it is illegal. The United States, along with Mexico and the Philippines, was ranked one of the world's worst places for human trafficking in 2018. In the U.S., the number of human trafficking victims is in the hundreds of thousands. So they can't even rate how many people have been a victim of human trafficking or know how many people have been involved with it. That for Mexico and the Philippines and the U.S. to be the worst places in the world, that means we're number one in human trafficking, the United States. And why is that? Why is the United States number one when it comes to human trafficking? Since 2007, more than 49,000 cases of human trafficking in the U.S. have been reported to the National Trafficking Hotline, which receives an average of 150 calls a day. Now, can you imagine this? You have an organization that fights against human trafficking, and the hotline rings at least 150 times a day with a new case. 49,000 cases of human trafficking in the U.S. since 2007. Now, of course, you have to take away the ones that don't actually call into the hotline, that just call the police station, or they go and try to look for them themselves, which is thousands of people alone. So if you take that and add that to the people that are the cases that are already out there, it's an astronomical amount of people that has either been through human trafficking, know someone that has been through human trafficking, or someone who has survival of human trafficking. It's just ridiculous. The most human trafficking cases based on the hotline is California, Texas, and Florida. Now, a lot of people say, Atlanta is the hub, and it is the hub because most of the human traffickers go through Georgia at some point. But the number one place cases where they have a lot of human trafficking going on, number one cases from the hotline has been California, Texas, and Florida. Las Vegas is also a hot spot due to the city's culture and high rates of homelessness. So Las Vegas in itself is, and if anyone ever been there, prostitution is legal in Las Vegas. So doing human trafficking for sex purposes in Las Vegas is probably more common than people are aware of. And it's legal there. Not saying that it's legal for them to have a minor there, but prostitution is legal. So as a result, Las Vegas, along with California, Mexico, is one of the top places around that human trafficking is happening. I need people to realize what's going on and be aware of what's happening out here. And this is the reason I wanted to talk about it today. there's a big stigma right now about white vans that have been following people, pulling up outside of grocery stores. All white vans aren't bad. I don't want everybody to think that. But there are situations and places where there are white vans or other color vans that has no name on them, tinted windows. Some of them have locks on the back that you can see, and they carry a lot of minors in those vans. And I need people to understand also, they're not just minors. They're taking people from ages 14 all the way up to 81. That's what I read today, and I was blown away when I saw that. And be aware of grocery stores. Be aware of gyms. They're even in schools. They have trained children to trap other children. And I need people to understand and hear what I'm saying, because in schools, you have those kids that love to hang out with their friends. They're trained to go to school, make friends with a lot of different other teenagers, and then draw them to wherever they are, and they're snatched up and taken away, and no one knows where they are. And I've talked to a police officer, and he said once they're taken, they're taken. There's nothing the police can do, because once they take them and they take them out of the country, it's a wrap. There's no way for them to get in touch with them, no way for them to reach them, no way for them to communicate with them, and they're just gone. So be aware of grocery stores, be aware of gyms, be aware of schools. Talk to your children. Please talk to your children. Let them know nowadays to not be, if they don't know those other kids that well, just don't go off with them. Hang around, get to know them, know other people who are around them. If you got other friends, if you got other close friends, have your other close friends go with you as well. Keep a cell phone on you at all times. Make sure they have a cell phone to communicate with the parents. And I personally will put a tracer on the cell phone just so that I know where my child is at all times. And you can do that, and there are things that you can do to do that. I want to give a shout out to James Rouse, because earlier today he sent me a video about the harvesting of organs, and I saw the videos, and it was probably one of the most horrific things that I've seen, because they show actual pictures of people and how they were sewn up after the organs was taken out. And I need people to understand that they are taking these organs from black people so that white people can live. And that's literally what's going on. As black people, and if you don't agree with me, you just don't agree with me. This is what the consensus that I have came to from my study, because I sat at home and studied for hours, going through all type of profiles and pages, and saw a lot of different videos, read a lot of different things. And this has been something that's been brewing for years and years and years. This is nothing really that's new. We making it new, but it's something that's really not new. Organ harvesting is a billion-dollar business. A billion-dollar business. For it to be a billion-dollar business, they had to have been doing this for years. I need people to understand what I'm saying when I say this. And feel free to call in. The number to call in is 678-619-1402. That's 678-619-1402. Feel free to call in if you have any questions, even if you don't believe or understand what I'm saying, to elaborate more on what I'm saying. Feel free to call in. But I need people to understand that human trafficking isn't just sex. It's not just about sex. It's also about organs, which is why it's called human trafficking. And the fact that we are now becoming aware of it, I mean, think about this. The young man who was at school and was found rolled up in I don't know if you have heard the story, but he was found rolled up in some mats in the gym. They brushed it off as something less than what it was. And when they uncovered it and he had his autopsy, organs were missing. Um, Mr. Ross said that was linked to a doctor in Detroit who has a warehouse, and they recently arrested that doctor. I saw that. I saw that on one of the pages that I was studying. They arrested the doctor, and he admitted it that he was harvesting organs, and guess what? He got, I think, like 10 years. 10 years. I know if you look at the news, if a black man get caught for selling drugs or having drugs on him, they give him 20 plus years just for that. But this doctor was taking people's organs and selling it, and he got 10 years. I think that's something to think about. I think it's very unfortunate that we have been brought down and minimalized to a group of people that are not valued to what our worth is. I feel like back in I heard a guy say back when we were actually slaves working on plantations, we were more valuable then than when we became free, because now we didn't serve a purpose. And I heard this come out of a racist man's mouth in a video I saw earlier today. And I just said that I had to rewind it a couple times to gather what he was saying. Like I say, feel free to call in 678-619-1402. That's 678-619-1402. It took me a minute to grasp what this man was saying, but we are in a place now in our life where we have to watch everything that's going on around us, not just when it's nighttime and you walking by yourself into a building. You always looking around to see what's going on. You have to be aware of what's going on in the daytime. There are people that are driving down the road and they're getting boxed in by cars and driven off the road. Or I heard this happen before, to a lot of women. If you're driving by yourself and you get bumped by a car while you're at a light, don't get out of the car to see the damage. Stay in the car and call the police, because they get women like that too. The second they bump your car, there's usually a van in the front and a car in the back. They'll box you in, and as soon as you try to get out the car, or the guy walk up to your window to see if you're okay, you let that window down there, spray something in the car, knock you out, throw you in the van, and you're gone, and your car's still sitting there running. So I need you to understand how serious this is. Earlier this year, we did an interview with Kade Hill. They were doing a movie. It was a movie they did that was based off human trafficking. And we got so deep into the interview talking about how to prevent from getting caught up in one of those situations, that they started calling into our studio. Now, this is on YouTube. If you go look up that video on YouTube, it's on there. But our phone started blowing up, and they were playing some type of music in the background that was like some African racist type music. And after they played the music, eventually somebody actually called in, and he said, "I have a question for everybody on the set." And we were like, "Yeah, what's the question?" He said, "Do y'all have a tree in your backyard?" And when he said that, at first I didn't even know it was a threat. Penny hung up the phone, and after we hung up the phone, I realized that he was basically saying that we keep talking about this, he's gonna hang us from a tree in our backyard. Well, of course, I'm sitting here talking about it now because that doesn't scare me. I think we need to be aware. I think that it is something that needs to be talked about. A lot of people don't talk about it. A lot of people don't talk about the dangers of it. Harlan said, "This is why it's so important that we stay in our legislative spaces to make them do the jobs they were elected to do. They have the power to change these laws to make the punishments harsher." And yes, they do. But you know the problem with that, Harold? The problem with that is when it comes to human trafficking, those people on that are higher up in the government are behind a lot of this. Because that's why people are afraid to touch it. Because there are powerful people behind this whole situation. For them to call in on our radio station earlier this year just to distract us from what we were talking about and to actually threaten us on air, it was a huge signification that this is real. Valerie said there's a thing now where they are faking a breakdown and laying in the roadway in order to have you pull over and they take you. The last I heard was in Tampa. So now they got people laying in the streets, faking like they're cars pulled over in the street, acting like they're broke down, and then you get out to try to help them, and they take you that way. Now I'm gonna tell you this: it's not just the women that need to be aware; it's the men too, because they are taking the body parts from a lot of women, and they also got another thing coming out where from women they are taking the uterus, so that transgender men can now have kids. I think it's the craziest thing I've ever heard, but that's where we're going. And I need people to understand that in this world, there's a lot of crazy people and sick people. When you get to the point to where you go and you take innocent children, teenagers, kids, and take them, rape them, sexually abuse them, take body parts, beat them. It's some sick people out here. Now feel free to call in 678-619-1402. So also in my research today, I found out that there's a lawsuit out. Now there's two different types of lawsuit. There's one lawsuit where 13 survivors of human trafficking is suing hotels. They're suing, I think it's about 4 or 5 different hotels. The Red Roof Inn was one, Wyndham, because a lot of the hotels know what's going on, but they're not doing nothing about it. Now there's another lawsuit on Motel 6, and that one had the most description to it. So basically, they talked about a woman that was a lawyer who talked about a girl who was at a Motel 6, and she'd been there for a long time. Her and the trafficker would check in every day, and every day she would be with a different person. The hotel saw her come in. They saw her with bruises. They seen her with different people. They knew something was going on, but they did nothing about it. There's a total of over 50 Motel 6s that is involved with human trafficking. Over 50 in the country. And when I read that, I was just blown away, because how can you work in an environment, you work at a hotel, you see a woman that look like she's been beaten. Look, bruises on her arm, bruises on her neck, bruises on her face, whatever. And you say nothing, do nothing. It's almost like if you don't see it, you're gonna act like it never happened. You just brush it off. Why would you do that? Why are people hiding from the truth? Why are people allowing these women to be abused and sexually exploited all for some money. Is money really that powerful? Is money really the root of all evil? The Bible says that money is the root of all evil. Is that true? Call in. Huh? The love of money is the root of all evil. It's the same thing. Love of money is the root of all evil. And I think with $1 billion company in human trafficking, I think money has a whole lot to do with it. I've been threatened so many times to try to force me to stop sharing my story as a survivor of human trafficking, but I'll continue to speak out. Okay, so Harlan, obviously Harlan Ross. I didn't know that, Harlan, but I'm gonna have to bring y'all on the show because we gotta talk about this. But the fact that human trafficking is so prevalent now today, it is so common for someone to go missing. There are hundreds of thousands of people missing right now, and it's continuing every day. Every day. There are hundreds of thousands of people missing. They don't know where they are. That's why it's so important to make sure you know where your children are at all times, to make sure they contact you at all times, to make sure you have some type of way to communicate with them, to talk to them about this stuff, and to let them know, don't be by yourself all the time when you go out. Have a friend to roll with you, or something. But always, always have someone with you, especially right now at this Christmas time. This is the perfect time for people to snatch you up, only because they know that you're looking for something. They can come and coerce you with something that you want, and they selling it for cheaper. And it's people like on OfferUp or whatever, where you go on there and you find somebody who has something you want, and you go to meet them. They snatch you up that way. Be careful with Uber drivers. Make sure you know that they're going the direction you need to be going in. Talk to someone on the phone while you're in the Uber, a friend, family member, whoever. Talk. Act like they're on the phone. Act like someone's on the phone. But make sure you are aware of what's going on in your surroundings. I have a friend of mine who came to Atlanta. She lives in Florida. She came to Atlanta one time, and she was freaking out when she got to me. But she told me about a police officer that came up to her in the parking lot. So basically, she was in a grocery store. She got to her car, and when she got to the car, the undercover police officer walked over to her car and tapped on the window, and she rolled it down to speak to him, and he said, "Don't ever do that again." And she was looking at him all weird. She said, "You could get snatched up just like that." And basically, he was teaching her a lesson. When people come up to your car and they act like they helpless, or they trying to talk to you or give you something, do not let your window down. And if you go out into a parking lot and there's a van or something parked next to your car, go back in, get a guy or somebody to escort you to your car. Whoever you can find in the grocery store who work there or who work at the location you're at, to walk you to your car if you see a van parked next to your car, because you don't know who's watching you. They sit out in these parking lots and they scope people out, and before you know it, you're gone. And the police officers told me once again that once you're gone, you're gone. Once they get you and take you away, it is going to be very hard to track you down, because I trust and believe they have learned how to maneuver around these situations. Okay? So human trafficking is one of the top things going on right now. They have put an alert out for people to be careful out here in the streets. They're getting women in nail stores. When you go get your nails done, toes done, they getting them in there. They getting them everywhere. They figured out ways to get people to appeal to whatever they love and draw them out and snatch you and take you away. So please, people, please, 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 please be careful. I'm praying for you. Please roll out with a friend, especially during this time of the year. It's gonna be very easy to snatch people up because everybody want to run out and grab something, and they buy themselves and they think, they cool. And they jump in the car, and you get in the car, and the next thing you know, you're out. You know. Also, if somebody walk up to you and want to give you a business card, be aware of that because they put a powder on that business card, and then they hand you that business card. You get in your car, that powder is seeping into your system, and then you pass out. And by the time you get to wherever you're going or you pull over, and when you pass out and wake up, you're somewhere else. They snatch you up just like that. So be aware of business cards. Be aware of letting your window down. Even if you crack it a little bit, they can spray something in there to knock you out and then just get you out of the car. So I took this last part of my show to talk to you and make you aware of what's going on out here, to make you to get you to understand. Valerie McCray says, please continue to put this information out there, and I will continue to, because it definitely needs to be out there. So grocery stores, gyms, they washing women in the gyms. They got kids snatching up other kids in the school. They're training them to befriend them and draw them out and get them out somewhere to a club or take them somewhere, and then they snatch them up that way. So parents, make sure you know who your kids are hanging with. This is, they can fight back or get mad all they want to, but make sure that you're welcome, Harlan. She said, thank you for doing this show. Make sure that they know that who your children are hanging with. Make sure you have a contact number. Make sure that you talk to your children, sit them down, just have a heart to heart with them, because this is a very serious situation. I hate to hear someone getting taken away, and it's the worst feeling ever. The worst feeling ever to lose your child and have no idea where they are, and there's nothing you can do. So I'm praying for everyone. This is going to pretty much wrap up my show. This is Wardell Richardson on WCEGwood. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, on Twitter at WCEG_talk_radio and the WCEG network. Also follow us on YouTube. Follow me on my YouTube channel under my name, Wardell Richardson. Follow WCEG network. And you can see all our shows from way before, and make sure you check out the one. So Harlan says our organization and many other organizations in Atlanta and in other areas offer free training to churches, schools, companies, and etc. So that's something to look into. On that note, we're going to wrap this show up. January the 9th, I will be back with my next show. We're going to take a break for now because of the Christmas holidays. I want everyone to have a very Merry Christmas. I just realized, man, Christmas comes fast. Christmas just comes so fast. Like, I remember when I was a kid, I'd be like, when is Christmas coming? When is Christmas coming? It looked like it seemed like it took forever. Now, it seems like right after Christmas, the next week, Christmas is here again. I'm like, man, I gotta go shopping again. But yeah, it's crazy. But I love this time of year. I love being with family. And to everyone who tuned in. Okay, so to everyone who tuned into the show, I appreciate you. This has been a great show. Once again, Keisha Rivers came in earlier today to talk about her stage play, Mama, They Didn't Mean It. Make sure you go and check that out. She had a lot of people call in today to offer her much success. She has a huge support team. She's an award-winning actress, an Amazon best-selling author, a Stella Award-winning radio host, curvy model. She does a plethora of everything. And so Penny got me taking pictures while I'm doing the show. so so I'm excited about that play. I'm looking forward to going to see it. We had a group in here last week who has a play coming up on February the 14th. And it looked like I'll be going to both of these plays. This play that Keisha Rivers did today will be on February 29th. So definitely check it out. I thank you guys for tuning in. Are we done, Penny? I think we're done. Huh? Y'all want to get? Okay. So, okay. So, okay. So on this note, since they want me to continue talking and everything, um, please, April 19th, 2020, ITEE's annual Youth Excellence Award. I'll be hosting it. It's at the Porter Sanford Performing Arts Center, 3181 Rainbow Drive, Decatur, Georgia, 30034. Red carpet is from 3 to 4 p.m. I keep talking about this because it is one of the best award shows for children. It is top of the line, top notch. The kids are like stars. They are complete stars this day. So if you know any children that are athletes, that plays an instrument, sing, rap, dance, whatever their talent is, have them contact me. Reach me on my social media, or they can email me at mrwardellrichardson@gmail.com. And make sure they have their name, their parents' name, and a contact number so that we can reach out. And hopefully they qualify for us to honor them, because kids are our future. And a lot of times they get into these whatever that it is they do, they Olympics, or they sing, and they never really get seen the way they want to get seen. Well, we want to see them. We want to show them that they matter and that they mean something. So it's a very fun show. I enjoy doing it every year. Shout out to Marcella Phillips, the CEO of ITEE. I am on the board as well, and we have a great time putting this together. We still down to a few kids. We got quite a few of them. We still down to a few kids. So if you know any that you feel like should be honored, hit me up, Mr. Wardell Richardson at Gmail, or hit me on my social media on Facebook or Instagram. Hit me in my inbox with their information so I can reach out to them. You can get tickets at eventbrite.com, ITEES, annual youth, and once you put that in, everything else should come in. You can get your tickets. It's reasonable. It's a fun time, and you'll enjoy it. Last year, when the kids came, they got out of a limo. They got out firsthand in the limo, was escorted straight to the red carpets, cameras, interviews, all the way down the red carpet. It was top notch all the way, and they enjoyed it. Several of the kids said that was the best day of their life. And that's what we want. That's what we want for our kids. That's what we want for our future. And it takes a village to raise a child. And if we all come together and support our kids and continue to push them in the right direction, it's nowhere that they can go where they can't have that support. And they know that we support them. So please, if you know any kids, if you want to sponsor, if you know any sponsors who want to sponsor this event, please hit me in my inbox. We are definitely looking for sponsors. We'll have your logo and everything on the red carpet on our Step and Repeat. We'll definitely highlight you, make notice of you during the show. So we're definitely looking for sponsors. We're looking for more kids. We're looking for people who just want to help. We're looking for anybody you know who wants to be involved with this. Hit me in my inbox. Let me know on Mr. Wardell Richardson at gmail.com or under my name, Wardell Richardson, on social media, on IG, Facebook. Hit me in my inbox. DM me. DM me. Hit me up. I'm here for you. And Keisha Rivers, don't forget about her play on the 29th. Mama, they didn't mean it. Stage play. It's going to be an amazing play. And on that note, we're going to get ready to wrap this thing up. Because they act like they. What? Are you kidding me? Them got me. They don't want me to get off the mic because you know what? Because I be putting it down on this mic. Now I'm just kidding. Also, make sure you go and follow us. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Follow under my name, Wardell Richardson. Follow WCEG Network, where you can see all the interviews that we've done, all the way up to now. Especially my show. I started last year, beginning of last year, and it has been a journey. I've had a great time interviewing a lot of great people, and now we're in a new location out here on Washington Road. Won't give it all away, but we out here on Washington Road, and we have a great studio now because we moved from over by the airport to a new location. We got a bigger space. It's top notch. Eventually, we're gonna have an open house so people can come and check us out. Waiting for Penny to give me the date on that, which I'm sure is gonna be sometime beginning of the year once we finish getting everything together. But on that note, I guess they ready to shut me down now. So we gonna get ready. We gonna get up out of here. Listen, God bless you guys. I am out of here. WCEGwood, the Hollywood of the South. Follow us on all social media platforms. We out. Peace.
The Hollywood of the South.
Y'all funny.
Yeah.